Welcome back to another intense day in Zoom Court, and this one is packed with tension. We've got a landlord pushing for eviction, a tenant claiming unfair treatment, and $5,700 in unpaid rent on the table. But here's the twist. The tenants say they're ready to move, but only on their terms, and they're accusing the landlord of jacking up rent without notice. By the end of this hearing, someone's going to walk away furious, and the judge is about to drop some hard truths about respect in the courtroom. Let's break this down, because this is eviction drama you won't want to miss.
Where is she working?
She works at Lippert Components.
All right, well, I don't know if she can hear me or not. I can't hear her. Miss Morse, can you hear me? All right.
Everything should be good.
Well, she's not quite here. At any rate, Ms. Corpening, this was filed as a demand for termination of tenancy. The defendant indicated that they were going to or had contacted legal aid. He also indicated they were willing to move, but did not want to have an eviction on their record. What's the current status?
Right at this moment, Your Honor, I've not heard from either one of them. They are still living in the home. I don't know that this matters or not, but they haven't paid rent. They owe rent in $5,700. We would like to continue with the eviction.
When was rent last paid?
Last rent was paid 9/26 of 22 for September's rent.
Mr. DeMille, what's your position here?
Your Honor, my position is this. We have the money in an account. We're honestly not willing to give it to her because of all the things we've had to put up with since we were here. And I know that we do, you pay what you owe. I firmly believe in that. But also, I believe in fairness also. And I also believe that she's been overcharging us. Like, okay, we did a lease when we first.
Stop. This isn't about payment of rent. She just said as an aside. They're attempting to terminate your tenancy.
Right. I understand that. And I'm okay with that. I'm sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
Are you guys prepared to move?
Yes, Your Honor. Like I mentioned last time at the hearing, we've been looking for a place. We've been looking for a place since we moved in here. We moved into very subpar living conditions. The rent's been going up. We haven't been having a lease redone. There was no agreement. She just upcharges the rent whenever she feels like it. She's fake evicted us 3 or 4 different times. Just the emotional stress over that. Like, we've had an eviction before. We know what it's like to be homeless, to be put out in the street. And it's really difficult when we get settled somewhere, like for somebody to keep holding that over your head when there's no actual proof or reason for her to do any of that stuff. She claims destruction.
We haven't gotten to that part yet.
Right.
But if you're willing to move voluntarily, then maybe we can.
Oh, I am, Your Honor, and like I mentioned at the last hearing, we've been actively and aggressively trying to move for at least the past year. Like, before she even tried to hit us with this, whatever she's hitting us with now, I can't even keep up. But we've been trying to move. We actually have been trying to move since we moved into this trailer because it is so disgusting and subpar living conditions. We've been trying to get out of here since COVID started. It's just been so extremely difficult to find a place, and we weren't trying as aggressively in the beginning of the year. But once all this started happening, we actively and aggressively we're trying to find some place to move. There's just simply no places to move, and the ones that are available, they want all these requirements that, like, she has an eviction on her record. So like back in 2018, which it's been a while, but they keep holding that over her head. And then, like, it's just been a number of things with the housing market the way it is, and there's no available places to move. So we actually did get lucky since our last hearing, though. We did get lucky and actually find somewhere that was willing to take us in, but they're not going to be available till May 1st. So that leaves like a pretty significant couple weeks that we're going to have to figure something out if So like, it would just be my request that, and if it is okay with everybody involved in the mercy of the court or whatever, that we be granted at least until May 1st. But I mean, if we can't work that out, then I guess I'll just have to figure out what we have to do.
All right, well, the law says you would have 10 days from today, which would be April 13th. So
Right.
they would have to give you an extra 17 days. Mr. Bush or Ms. Corpening, do you have a position regarding that if they were to move voluntarily by April 30th?
I defer to Chris on that. She can respond to that, Your Honor.
Well, Your Honor, I've always tried to be fair with my tenants, and although I'm not going to stand here and bash him the way he's been bashing me, it is not subpar. I have not raised the rent arbitrarily.
Okay.
We have put out newsletters as to when the rent was raised properly, the way we always have. He can sit there and say we haven't, and yes, I did put out an eviction prior to this one.
Several.
I tried to work with them, but could you please stop? This is why I really just don't feel like I should work with them.
Just a minute. Mr. DeMayo?
Yes, Your
Sit
Honor.
down and pay attention. You're in a court proceeding. Don't get up and walk away because you didn't like something somebody said. You're asking for her grace to let you stay until the end of May, and then you act like that.
I'm sorry.
Otherwise, we can have a hearing and you can be out in 10 days and the sheriff will put your stuff out in the street. They allege your kids are dancing on the roof. They're breaking windows out. There are other allegations that have led them to terminate the tenancy. You haven't paid the rent since September and you're full of indignant disgust. I don't know. These properties are inspected. There's a waiting list of other people to move in. If you move out, there's somebody ready and willing to move in. You're asking for a consent to allow you to move out at the end of April, which is some grace, and then you disrespect me and her like that when she was speaking. If you were in the courtroom, you wouldn't get up and walk out and get a drink or go to the bathroom in the middle.
Whoa, that was a serious bench slap from the judge. And it's important to understand why. In eviction cases, especially when you're asking for extra time, showing respect and composure isn't just polite, it's strategic. The judge just reminded everyone that walking away mid-hearing can tank your credibility in seconds. Think about it. You're requesting 17 extra days to stay in a home you haven't paid rent for since September, and the person you're asking for leniency from is watching your every move. Viewers, do you think this tenant's behavior just cost them their best chance at avoiding a fast eviction? Let me know in the comments.
Of the proceeding. So let her finish what she was saying. I'm not sure where we're headed for a hearing and a 10-day move out or a consent to the end of the month. Go ahead, Ms. Corpening.
Your Honor, at this point, I'd like to do a 10-day and a move out.
Well, then we have to take testimony and we're going to have to present evidence regarding these alleged lease violations. Are you ready with witnesses to testify in that regard?
I believe that Chris Corpening has all of the relevant testimony, Your Honor.
All right, I've got somebody else here. All right, Ms. Corpening, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. You filed a notice to quit with a termination of tenancy in December. The notice is somewhat vague, in fact, quite vague. It just says destruction of property. That's all it says. Seeking possession due to destruction of property. And then the complaint to recover doesn't tell me much either. So this is a very weak complaint. If legal aid was here, they'd probably make you file a motion to file a new one. What does that mean, destruction of property?
Your Honor, I have pictures of their child up on a roof. They climb the roofs, they break windows. Their child is not the only one who has done this, but I have evicted another individual who was involved in this as well. They're constantly
All right, well,
walking in the
let me
middle of the
slow-
road.
Let me stop you.
Sure.
You're not willing to give 17 days of grace. So, Mr. Bush, she's your witness. I'll let you ask the questions.
Chris, what is your position with Memory Lane Mobile Home Park?
I'm the property manager.
Okay. And are you involved with a tenancy involving Patricia Morse?
Yes,
And is that lot 173?
yes, it is.
And that's located in St. Joe County?
Yes,
Okay. And as part of your duties, have you had to deal with violations of the rules and regulations?
yes, I have.
And you started to testify before, but can you share with the judge what the major problems have been with the tenant and their occupants?
It's the disbehavior of the child. Him and a few other children have been climbing on roofs and breaking windows and disrupting other tenants. They were out with BB guns a while back. That has been a while, and that has since cleared up. But we've had them on roofs. We've had broken windows. They're just walking down the roads, flipping people off, no differently than Mr. DeMayo flipping me off every time he drives by. It's just, I don't feel like I need to tolerate that.
Well, all right, the complaint says destruction of property.
Yes,
I don't have it. I've got kids on roofs and alleged broken windows. So John, let's see if we can narrow this down as to when and where.
Can you
this
follow
happened.
up? Can you follow up on what property has been destroyed?
meaning which lot numbers or what?
Yeah, I mean, if it's, is it windows? Is it buildings? Is it materials? If you can explain what's been broken or destroyed?
It's windows, it's a screen door, skirting, and they painted all over the side of a home and a shed.
Is this their lot 173 or is this other properties?
Other properties within the park.
Okay. And have you received complaints from other tenants regarding the behavior of those children?
Yes, I have.
And do you feel that in order to protect the integrity of the park, you need to have them leave so you can have a more safe and less turmoil in the environment there?
Absolutely.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Well, the problem is, just a minute, Mr. DeMayo, I'll give you a chance to speak.
Yes, sir.
You can't just throw some spaghetti up against the wall and hope it will stick. I don't know when, where, what was damaged, how old these kids are, whether they're 4 or 14. You filed a very poor notice to quit that says destruction of property. That is the only thing that they're on notice for, as to terminate their tenancy. That was in December 21st. There's no addendum, there's no attachment, there's no nothing. Then they get the notice to quit or the complaint, and it doesn't say anything. It just says notice to quit. So this is weak, and you need to have more specificity. They were agreeing to move voluntarily by the end of the month, but Mr. DeMayo was so disrespectful, he decided, screw it. So if you want to evict them, you got to do it right. You got to give me more than some vague allegations that somebody who did something to somebody. So you can either agree to let them move by the end of the month, or we can continue this for a proper hearing at a different date.
I don't want them to be homeless. If they're telling me they're going to move, I'll give them the concession and let them move by the end of the month.
All right, Mr. DeMayo, you got your hand up like we're in school, but I'll let you speak.
I apologize. I apologize, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were still talking. I apologize.
All right, well, you agree to be out by April 30th.
Yes, Your Honor. I also like to comment on some of the things she was saying, because that's the things that you were saying about
Stop.
Yes, sir.
That's not gonna help anything. All you're doing is making each other mad.
Well,
All I want to know is if you will agree to move voluntarily by the 30th of April.
yes, Your Honor, I will.
All right, now Miss Morse did a flyby. She showed up, I couldn't hear her. I don't know whether she could hear me. That doesn't count as an appearance. So she's subject to default. So you're making this decision for both of them. I told you at the beginning, here she is again.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
there's somebody else. I'm sorry. It looks like there's somebody else.
He's the next case.
Oh, okay.
We have several set for today. He's in dire straits too.
I apologize, Your Honor. I'm new to this whole Zoom court thing. This is my first time.
I told you, if you do reach a consent judgment with the court, you'd waive the rights listed above, but have the following additional rights. The judgment could not be enforced until 3 business days had passed. You could move to set aside this judgment within those 3 days if you misunderstood what you consented to or what you were waiving. Your motion to set aside the judgment will be set for a landlord-tenant hearing. However, if the judge does not find in your favor, the original judgment would stand. Miss Morse, can you hear me? Miss Morse? Instead of treating this like something important where she's about to be evicted from her house, she's treating it as an inconvenient nuisance that happens in the middle of her workday. So she's not here, and I guess we'll treat her as not appearing. Anyway, so if you agree on behalf of you and her to be out by April 30th, I will have Mr. Bush prepare a consent order for dismissal. If you don't move by that date, you're subject to being evicted on the very next day, May 1st. You understand?
I do understand, Your Honor. And I also wanted to say, like, with my meeting with legal aid later on, what do you suppose I do about that then? Like, if I talk to them and they say maybe like I would really like to consult with them before I make a decision, but like
3 days to move to set this aside if you misunderstood what you consented to.
Okay. So what you're saying is if I consent right now and then I talk to legal aid, I have 3 days to undo what I agreed to?
But you have 3 days to make a motion to undo what.
Right.
Now, all right, I don't want to get jerked around. I don't want to jerk them around. They are prepared to let you stay till the end of the week. Till the end of the month. I've already given you one adjournment. I'm going to be gone later in April. And so you need to tell me whether you agree to this or not. You can still talk to legal aid, and you can move to set it aside, but I'm not very inclined to do that. You told me you've got a place to move to on May 1st. This would not put another eviction on your or Miss Morse's record. And so you can still consult with them. But Miss Morse, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Do you agree to move by April 30th?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I
Mr.
do.
Bush will prepare what's called a consent order of dismissal, and it will enter. Then you've got till the 30th, and you also have the rights I advised you in the meantime when you consult with legal aid.
Okay.
She had to give you some concessions she didn't really want to do, so there's some give and take on each side here.
Okay.
Miss Morse, you need to treat this more seriously than you have. I understand you don't want to miss work, but this isn't ideal, but we did finally hear your position on this. So I'm going to remove you, and Mr. DeMaio and Mr. Bush will prepare a consent order of dismissal with a move out date on or after April 30th. All right, Mr. DeMaio, best of luck.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I do.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
you, Your Honor.
you.
Here's how this showdown ended. Despite months of unpaid rent, property damage allegations, and a whole lot of back and forth, both sides agreed to a consent order. The tenants have until April 30th to move voluntarily, and in return, no formal eviction hits their record. It's a rare middle ground in a case full of tension, but the judge made it crystal clear: respect the process or risk losing the court's patience and your case. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.